We're gonna keep the band where it is, but we're coming down to the mat. Make sure you grab your ball if you're working with it today. If you don't have a ball, you can use like a small pillow or a rolled up towel. We're going to take that ball underneath the band, so in between the thighs, and roll down bone by bone to meet me on your backs. Hands can just come into an A-frame here. Okay, from there, we're gonna start to tuck through the tail. Roll up bone by bone into your bridge. Find neutral at the top, then sink through the chest, rolling down. Okay, you find that tuck of the tail. Feel how the belly button lifts up and in to help you lift the hips. When we add this articulation, it's a little bit more core, less glutes, but lower body's still working. Okay, we can focus on pulling in on the ball, finding that hug up through the belly button, connection through inter thighs, and then release it slightly, press out on the band as we release. Okay, so you're still hugging enough that the ball will stay where it is, but you're finding an extra hug as you roll up and an extra press out on the band as you roll down. Let's do 2 more like that. Inner thighs. Okay, the feel factor won't be too high yet. Just really connecting in. Last one, we're going to hold it up there, holding that squeeze in on the ball. Okay, shift your weight into your left heel, right leg extends, reaches long, then you place it back down, then we switch. Other leg. Beautiful. Okay, keep switching here. Every time the leg lifts, you find the energy out there, finding an extension. Hips don't change. So we're trying to keep them lifted and level. Beautiful. Okay, one more like this, then we'll add on. Keep the hips lifted for me. Now we lift one leg, reach it out, pulse it in for 3 and 2 and 1 and lower down. Other leg reaches, we pulse in for 3 and 2 and 1. Tap down, switch, reach. Long through that leg, inner thighs hug in and in and in and lower. Are your hips still lifted? Are they sinking now? Can we lift them up 1 more inch, still keeping neutral spine? Okay, let's do 2 more each side. Both inner thighs working to pull in on the ball there. That grounded foot is staying flat on the mat. Think deeper, inner thighs working to pull the ball in. Core working. We've got 1 more each side. Okay, not to mention little bonus glutes here, right? Can't work lower body without them. And 1, lower down. Beautiful, roll it all the way down. We're going to grab onto that ball, take it out of the inner thighs, and just pop the hips up, take the ball underneath your sacrum. So where we think about the tailbone being, more glutes, less lower back. Hands can come back out into that A-frame. We walk the legs up into our tabletop. If the band starts to slide down, you can always adjust it back closer to the knees. Okay, a few wobbles here while we find our balance, really grounding tailbone down into the ball. We're going to take the legs apart from each other, dip the toes towards your mat, then pull knees back over hips, and then stack the legs back parallel. So we're abducting the legs, they go apart. Then dip the toes, holding that abduction. And then return. So outer thighs working to pull the band apart. Core working to stabilize. Notice how there's no change in the lower back as we dip the toes away and as we pull knees back in. That's that core stability aspect. Last one here. Beautiful. And back to parallel. Now we do 1 leg at a time. 1 leg goes out, back in, and then we switch back in. Okay, out and in, trying to keep hips level still, even though we're taking 1 leg out to the side of the body. Okay, let's do one more each side, and then we're gonna turn this into a circle. Okay, upper spine supporting you on the mat. Let's take it into a circle. You go out, dip the toes, circle back to parallel, knee lifts back over hip. Okay, out, dip the toes, circle it in that dip, and pull it back in. Lots of core working here as we use our outer and inner thighs to control this band. Making sure everything from the hips up stays stable. Ooh, starting to get a little shaky. We've got one more each side. Last one. Okay, we're gonna find the other movement. So toe dips first, then back up. Opposite toe dips, then back up, okay? Feel how inner thighs are working to keep legs in parallel. So you've always got this slight tension on the band, but it won't be too great here with the knees stacked in line with the hips. But inner thighs have to work to kind of magnetize away from each other in this case, so they're not falling together, losing tension on the band. So you can think resistance in both directions. Let's turn this into a circle. Toes dip. You take it out in the dip. Out, out, out. Circle, circle, circle. Back up to starting. So we dip through the toes. And then circle it up. Watch what happens in lower spine. We don't arch as we dip. We don't sway side as we go side. And we don't curl under or round under as the knee comes in. If you're bringing the knee past the hip, chances are we're losing our neutral spine. It can be kind of hard to feel with the ball under the hips. So anytime you want to remove that ball and just check in, you can. Last one. And up. Beautiful. Let's take the legs down, lift the bum. Ball goes into hands. We roll down bone by bone. Last little piece on our backs here. We're going to take the ball into the ankles. I know. Circling hands behind the nape of the neck. Legs stacked in tabletop, knees over hips, little dip in the low back, breathing space there. We start to curl up, pull in on the ball, and then lower down. So legs are in parallel still here. You're finding a gentle squeeze of the ball through the ankles, but that squeeze is coming from deep in the inner thighs. So you feel the engagement all the way from the heels up into the core. Last one, we hold it up here. Now find a clamshell, knees open, legs dip towards the mat, holding that clamshell, then back in parallel. Holding the ab curl. If it's ever too much, you drop down, lower the spine down, or if you have any diastasis issues, as soon as you start to see the core doming, I want you to pull back a little bit. As long as you can keep belly button down to spine, we can stay up here. Maybe you even curl up a little bit further as long as we're maintaining neutral spine through the lower back. It's just a curl through the upper spine. Woo! I'm feeling that, you guys. I know we are too. Let's do one more. We've got it in us. Beautiful. Holding at the top here. Rotate one elbow to opposite knee, then open clamshell center. Find parallel. Opposite leg. Okay, if we feel good here with knees stacked over hips, maybe on this next one we find knees slightly away, okay, and then clamshell a little bit lower. So your elbow and knees won't meet, but it's just a little more intensive for the lower abdominals. Woo, and I'm talking like a few inches lower, right? Give me 2 obliques working in both directions. Last one.